I'm Robert with Knowmium, and welcome back to our hybrid live video series. This is video number 4. In this video, we're going to start looking at our tech setup. We're going to take a look at the big picture. What are the overall tech and room considerations we should have when we're setting up and running interactive hybrid workshops? In the next video, we're going to take a deeper dive into specific device considerations. As mentioned in the introduction video of this series, there's a lot of practice and experimentation needed when we're setting up and running hybrid sessions. Technology is a huge component of this. Consider face-to-face workshops where we don't have any virtual participants. I like to say if something goes wrong in a face-to-face workshop, it's probably going to be technology. It's going to be your slides had an error or the file simply not working the same between one computer and another. Maybe the projector bulb is burnt out. Maybe the television display simply won't pick up our specific device. Maybe we simply forgot an adapter or a cable and we need to leave during a break or during lunch to go get one. Of course, we can prevent these and we can have backup plans, but in a face-to-face workshop, we can often shut down all the technology and say, let's go fully analog. I can write on the whiteboard or a flip chart. The participants can use paper and pen. We don't always need technology. In a virtual workshop, or especially a hybrid workshop, technology problems can stall or even cancel the entire workshop, at least for some participants. Imagine your audio goes wrong. If the virtual participants can't hear you, you can either delay the entire workshop until you can fix the audio and then restart it, but this means you've lost content at the end of the day, or you have people in the workshop over lunch or after hours during dinner, and nobody wants that. Sometimes we can say, sorry, virtual participants, we're going to cancel the virtual platform and I'm going to only do this face-to-face simply because it's better than nothing. The program continued, but not for the virtual participants. So let's start our big picture discussion with something that might exist for some hybrid facilitators, and that is the smart room. If you are lucky enough, you may have access in your office or your client's office to a dedicated smart room. These rooms have technology options that exist permanently in that room. There's displays, there's webcams, and we can often control those webcams to look at different parts of the room or even zoom in on certain face-to-face participants. Audio can be picked up from anywhere in the room, no matter where people are sitting, and sometimes there are microphones in the room that have dedicated mute and unmute buttons. There are control panels or connections that allow us to control this technology, and we can use this technology to our advantage within our hybrid activities. Best of all, in a lot of companies, smart rooms have a dedicated IT guru. If something goes wrong, we don't have to fix it. We can simply make a phone call, and the IT personnel can fix it, hopefully quickly. There are many conference rooms that have some technology. Maybe they have some display options and maybe there are some audio options. Maybe they don't have a webcam and we need to bring that in. Of course, we could make any room into a smart room. And there are other smart rooms that we could consider computer labs. You've probably seen these on a university campus. But the question is, if every single face-to-face participant, and of course the virtual participants, if every single person has a dedicated workstation, why do we need to run a hybrid format in the first place? Imagine that I was in this room and every single face-to-face participant had their own computer, their own link to the virtual platform. They have their own headset, they have their own webcam. If they can participate as a virtual participant, I can simply leave the room. I don't even need to leave the room. I can stay home or I can stay in my hotel if I'm traveling and run that session because every single person has a dedicated workstation. There may be benefits to keeping it hybrid. There may be activities we want to run with our face-to-face participants, and sometimes we tell them, please turn off your computers or step away from them. You'll need to answer those questions for yourself and have those discussions with your managers or the clients that have hired you. So, what's more challenging though than a smart room? it's often your personal tech setup. Whether there's some technology that exists in a room or you're bringing all the technology yourself, what do you need to be aware of? Like I mentioned, we will take a look at specific device considerations in the next video. Keep in mind, tech setup and using the tech can be complex. For you as a facilitator, there could be audio that you set up that simply isn't working correctly. You get feedback loops or you get echoes, and if there's no way to control that, that can limit or even cancel the program. Don't forget your participants. If you're asking face-to-face participants to bring in their own tech or use your tech in a new way, this is one more step for them to take, and any participant, whether they're face-to-face or virtual, can mentally check out or even physically check out and leave the program if tech is too much of a problem for them. They simply throw up their hands and say, I've had it with the tech problem. I don't want to do this anymore. Before we look at specific device considerations, let's again take a big picture look at some of our tech setups, and I've got 4 of them. This is a personal setup that I used with my own equipment in a remote location. This was not in my office. This was in a co-working space in a room that I could rent to hold workshops. So let's take a closer look at this. We'll start in the middle of that picture. You'll see on the right in the middle, there, of course, is the projector screen, which I did not bring in. And there's a projector above, not in the picture, that I didn't bring. But I could bring my own projector. I just didn't this day. But let's take a look at that table in the middle. I've got my facilitator's area. I can stand next to the screen. I can take a look at the face-to-face participants who are sitting throughout the room, and I can look down at my laptop to see the virtual participants or the slides or the interactive apps that I'm using. I've got a dedicated microphone on the table, and sometimes I bring in an external speaker or I use my own earbuds to hear the virtual participants. On the left side, I've got 2 webcams. The webcam on the right is faced towards me, the facilitator. Sometimes it needs to capture me and only me. Sometimes it could also capture the projector screen. Maybe I need to broadcast my slides through the virtual platform, but maybe they appear okay on the webcam, and the virtual participants can see me and the slides through a single webcam feed. You'll also notice behind that facilitator's webcam, there's an external light on a tripod sticking up. I'll show you a better view of that in just a moment. On the left side of the room, I have another workstation. I could use this as a second facilitator's laptop to simply monitor the virtual participants if my original laptop is controlling apps or slides. Oftentimes in a hybrid workshop, I have a co-host or a producer. They could sit there. They could be using that second webcam, or that second webcam could be looking at that whiteboard that's on the far left side. We could simply move it around as we needed to. That area also serves as a breakout area. If I have participants that need to get into breakout rooms with virtual participants, they can simply move over to that laptop on the left. They can use the virtual platform. Even though they're not connected to it all the time in the workshop, they can go sit over there physically anytime they need to. They can be seen on the webcam, and there's also a speakerphone on that table. This could broadcast audio all the time, or sometimes just for those breakout rooms. And of course, those speakerphones are usually really good at picking up people from around that area. A group of 4, they can all be heard through that same device. Now, let's look at this setup from a different angle. This is what it would look like from the facilitator's point of view. Looking at the far left, you can see the original facilitator's laptop and that microphone. And of course, there's that webcam in the middle that's pointed at the facilitator and sometimes at the projector screen. On the far right, there's that external light that I've brought in just to make sure that I show up clearly for the virtual participants. Of course, on the table in the back, there's the second laptop that I can use to monitor any apps or virtual platform. It could be used for my producer or any of those breakout rooms. And of course, the webcam, the speakerphone, and that whiteboard are also there. I could go over to that second webcam and I could turn that away from the whiteboard as it is now. I could turn it to the virtual participants on the left side of the room as needed. Let's take a look at another setup. If I don't have a producer in the same room with me, maybe they're a virtual producer or maybe I just don't have one, I might use this setup. You can see I have two laptops, one for the virtual platform, so I can always see the virtual participants, and the other laptop could be for my interactive apps or my slides. Of course, I've got the webcam, I've got the microphone, I might have earbuds. Something else that I've added to this picture is that iPad, the tablet on the right side of the photo. I like to have another monitor. This is great if I have an interactive app and I have slides and I have a virtual platform. I can see 3 screens at the same time. Keep in mind that this was not my dedicated room. I went to a co-working space to rent this room. So if I don't need to bring or don't want to bring an entire full computer monitor, those extra tablets can serve as extra screen space, and I find that very useful. Let's take a look at 2 more setups in this video. This is the third setup. If I have a producer in the room, on the left side, they can simply use that dedicated laptop. I don't always need an external webcam because they could use the built-in webcam. It's not always ideal, but the producer could use it simply to be on camera as they are interacting silently through the chat functions or other interactive apps with the virtual participants. Of course, that station on the left could become a breakout room for a single or a group of face-to-face participants. And on the right side of the video, that's the tech that you've already seen pointed at the main facilitators area. The final thing I'd like to share with our big picture video is one of my favorite setups, what I like to call the split room. This setup allows the face-to-face participants to be on the far left of the room and on the far right side of the room. Nobody is sitting where the webcam or any technology is blocking their view. So you, as this video viewer, are looking at this room from the wall. There's no seat from your point of view right now. That webcam is never in the way of you seeing the slides or seeing me as the face-to-face facilitator. Now, as a face-to-face facilitator, I've got my webcam, my mic, my 2 computers, wonderful. I will need to sometimes look to the left side of the room or the right side of the room to say, hello, face-to-face participants here and here. There is a lot of neck movement. But then I can look back in the middle of the room to interact with my virtual participants. As we talk about treating participants equally, this allows me to manage my time looking in different directions, giving people hopefully close to equal attention, getting them involved in our discussions and our activities. What else do we need to know about specific devices, and what are the details we need to consider when we're setting up and running a hybrid session? Let's jump into that in the next video.